going on, guys? Max the Body, Max Philisaire here. Thank you for joining us. Max Your Mind episode with Danny himself, bro. Thank you for this. This has been a long time coming. It's great to have you.
No, it's my pleasure, Max.
So you know there's a lot to talk about.
Oh, I have so much things to talk about.
I want to pick your mind and find out more about your journey. How Danny came to be, how you opened up the gym and started the movement you started.
Like, before we get into a detail, it'll be really nice of you if you could just do a short little prayer for me, Max. So like, just I could like really like get my heart out. You know what I mean? Because I become most genuine, like whenever I feel God in me. You know what I mean? So if you could do a little short prayer for me, Max, that would be great.
I got you. Our Father art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done. On earth as it is done in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us for our debts as we forgive our debtors. Give us today our daily bread. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is thy kingdom, the power, the glory, forever. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
My brother in Christ.
Yes, sir.
I've never prayed online like that before. Maybe I should start doing it more often. What do you think?
Oh, you should. Because, whenever you feel God in you, I mean, whoever God you believe in, whenever you feel God in you, then you become much more powerful and you become much more pure in life. So the perspective becomes different. And that's the reason why I always try to start my day feeling God in me. So I start with a meditation. I work out right away before anything, Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week. Never take days off from that.
No, I mean, we're spiritual beings, so there is no days off. You're a spirit every day, and as spiritual beings, we have to connect to the source, God.
Yes.
And so I highly recommend prayer for whoever's not out there that's not praying. You guys start praying.
Mm-hmm.
We need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I really appreciate your walk. And I believe we can edify each other, like iron sharpens iron. And so I'm definitely looking forward to catching up with you more, picking your brain and seeing how you overcome your trials and tribulations in life.
Yes, sir. Me and my family, we moved to the state from South Korea to be exact, from 1994. And, we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and me and my brother and my parents, my mom and dad. So 4 people slept on the same bed. And why? Because, every immigrant is not, most of them is not well financially, because they had to start all over from the scratch,
Agreed.
So I remember the rent was only $500, and there was a sum of the month.
Rent in Korea or over here?
Over here.
Okay, in Koreatown, not Korea.
Yeah, Koreatown, 1-bedroom apartment. The rent was $500 back in the day.
That's the rent I'm looking for right now. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, nah, not at all. But there was a days that we couldn't pay that amount. I mean, right now to us, 500 is not that much, but then back then to us, to our family, it was a lot. So even at that tiny little apartment, we struggle. And
so what do you want? What do you want me to gain from that experience? Because that testament is gonna inspire me. So like how do you want me to view that to inspire me?
Because I was living there until I was 24. I'm 38 right now, and I'm really living the dream that I always wanted to have. Meaning, I wasn't meant to be successful.
Says who?
The environment.
The environment.
Environment that I grew up in, I wasn't meant to be successful. And the mentality that I have, I was lazy. I was always making excuses. And I was blaming the world, and the people. So with those kind of like negative mindset, how can you be successful, right?
You can't.
You can't. And that's the person that I was when I first came to the state.
What sparked the change? Because you're a totally different person now.
Just observing my parents, especially my mom, sacrificing her life to put the food on the table for me and my brother.
Mm.
Just and that piled up. When I was little, like when I was younger, I didn't recognize that. I did not appreciate that. But as I got older, I started recognizing all the sacrifice and hard work that my mom was putting in.
Mm.
And the biggest spark came when my first girlfriend left me for another person.
Mm.
And that gave me opportunity to go to the gym and then express my anger and rage that I was holding it in for a long period of time.
Mm.
Why I had so much anger? Because I was witnessed my mom just working day in and out, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like just to make $5, $6, $7
Right.
per customers, you know.
Right.
And she was selling like a health product, by the way, but she was doing that like door to door sales.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, they don't get appreciated. A lot of people like turn them down because they don't have a good image when you do a door to door sales.
Right.
So looking at that, observing that, like it just gave me a lot of anger and rage growing up. I don't know why.
And so, what'd you do about it?
So when I first left, I remember it was difficult, but then something came out, like a monster, like a beast came out. I guess it was a form of a rage and anger that I holding it in for a very long time.
What were you mad about?
I guess I was just mad at the world, like because as a young age, I thought it was very unfair.
I see.
Why some people are born wealthy, but I was born in a poverty.
Yeah, I think we all come from like different backgrounds. Some better than others, but at the end of the day, it's what you do about it that matters, and you did something. So I want to hear more about what you did, like the transformation process. Like we see what triggered certain things, what sparked change.
Right.
Like what phases did you go through to get to where you're at right now?
So I started working out then with the rage, and because of that, my body grew so fast because I was working on like a madman, like every day. But I didn't live right. I didn't eat right. But I guess that lifting with the heart and passion, like really like changed my physique. Even though I was like jerking the weight, I was using all momentum in the world. But when you're so focused and driven, your body and mind, it adapts to what you're doing.
But there's a transformation that happened where you were lazy, upset, for you to get to driven right now. So like, what was the transformation that happened with the journey? There's a journey where you just went in there to express, for therapeutic reasons, you just wanted to express rage and anger, but then it turned into something else.
Yes.
So like, what happened there?
So I was working out at 25 Fitness in Koreatown, and this fitness manager, personal training manager, came up to me and then asked me, "You want to be a trainer? I saw your body like transforming fast." And I turned it down because, back then, that was 20 years ago, and personal training wasn't, I guess, more in an Asian culture. Being a personal trainer is not highly appreciated.
Why is that?
I guess in Asian culture, like all the parents want you to become a doctor, lawyer.
I can relate. I'm Haitian, and personal training, even when I was in South Florida, we're in LA now, personal training, that's like, okay, so basically you have no job. That's what you're saying. You're a personal trainer. You want to go outside and play in the gym and make a living. Like, so I totally understand what you're saying.
I turned it down, but then I got fired. I was working at a Korean airline at a LAX, and I got fired. I got fired from a lot of different jobs because I was lazy, first of all. And I guess my EQ.
So you quit. You didn't get fired. There's a difference.
No, I got fired.
If you got fired for being lazy, you quit.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Okay. I had like a 10 different job, and I all got fired because I was one of those like smart kid that always find a way out of not working hard, if you know what I mean. Yeah. I was like, my EQ
You
was
were getting away with murder.
not like murder, but you know what I mean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. And because I was looking for a job and I couldn't find any job, so I decided to okay, let me just try personal training. You know, I can't find job anyway, so
You were looking for something.
temporary.
You were looking for something temporary.
Yes, I was supposed to train people for temporary until I find the next job.
I see.
But when I did it, like I was hooked onto it because my personality was perfect for being a personal trainer. Why? Because as a younger kid, I was born with a good heart, and my parents always taught me to become a good person, meaning be considerate to others and try to help others, even though you're not in a good place, and that's how you become successful. They always taught me that. So having born with a good heart, kind heart, personal training was the best job for me because you get to help people. You get to give advices to people. You get to change people's lifestyle in order for them to become fit, right?
Right.
And it made me feel so good. And I was hooked onto it.
So you got fulfillment out of it.
Yes.
So how did that inspire and motivate you to stop being lazy?
It just came out naturally. It came out naturally because I was in love with what I was doing.
Purpose.
Yes.
Good for you.
Yes. And like, even though I was lazy, like once the spark came out from the love of what I was doing, the motivation and discipline like slowly increased on its own. And this is a reason why I tell everybody, it doesn't matter how old you are, where you are in your life, always find something that you love doing. And if you haven't found it yet, don't give up looking for it. Because when you do anything in life that you love doing every single day, the money will come.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So like you said, you found purpose. So it's a very important I feel like to self-examine,
Right.
Reflect on your past, what you're happy about, what you're unhappy about, because you took the time to get to know yourself better. What made you upset, why you were upset, and then you took action. So you made time to get to know yourself better. You found purpose.
Yes.
And I think it's very important for you guys to take note of that. The journey is, the identity is important, and then with identity, you'll find out your purpose, where you want to invest your time. And like you said, money will come. Like, money is not the end all. Like, money's not you can't buy happiness. So, purpose, fulfillment, you invest your time, and you reap what you sow.
Yep. So I was working there, and like a rumor, like a word of mouth, like, start slowly spreading in Koreatown. There is a trainer named Danny Joe in 25 Fitness in Koreatown, and then he's good. He gives you results. I gave people results even though I didn't have any knowledge or experience, but I was really onto them, if you know what I mean. I was really like, motivate to change them. So even with the little knowledge, even though I didn't know a lot of exercises, I make sure all the exercises couple exercises I knew, I made sure they did it perfectly.
Quality over quantity. Because,
Yes.
I mean, you got top trainers right now, top trainers in LA, or top trainers at a big gym. That doesn't mean they know what they're doing. That doesn't mean their clients are transforming their bodies. And a lot of trainers try to hold on to clients. Where, my goal is to help clients help themselves eventually to become independent of the trainer.
Good. Yeah, there you go.
So even though you didn't have all the knowledge, you had the right knowledge. You had the right mindset. So I mean, sometimes that's more valuable than somebody that has the biggest degree and the most experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're
You
so
have,
right
you have
on
to
that.
care about people,
Mhm.
and little things become big things.
Oh, that's the key. Little things become big things.
Mhm.
Yes. And so once people start recognizing who I was, I came out from 25 Fitness. I became a private trainer after that. So I went to people's house and trained like over there with the dumbbell and resistant band that I have.
What made you transfer from working for a gym to going private? What inspired that?
Because at the gym I was only getting paid $12 an hour.
Mm,
And becoming a trainer, I was able to charge people like $40 an hour,
right.
and I could keep all that without sharing with fitness club.
Yeah, I think it's important to, it's a great thing to work with people, work for people, learn,
Mm-hmm.
and be a student.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, you have to be independent. We're men,
Of course.
and becoming an entrepreneur, working towards that goal is very important. So you have control of your time and your finances.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
So I was training people privately, visiting people's house, roughly about a year or two, and then I remember when I first opened my like small tiny like studio.
Mm.
You called it a studio more than a gym because it's so tiny.
Is it the location you had before this one?
No, it was a first location on it was like I rented an office space in an office building, 300 square feet. And you could imagine how tiny it was. And to buy equipment and to make the place nice, I remember I borrowed $10,000 from my mom. And to her, it was a very big money back then.
Huge investment.
Yes. So I opened a small studio. Like it was dirty too. The carpet was dirty. There was a bug coming out from the carpet. But being blessed that I am, I had a ridiculous amount of people coming in, even with the tiny studio and dirty place. So I was there for 2 years, and then I saved up $30,000. Of course, I paid back my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You did well for yourself.
Mm-hmm. So that was
Starting off.
2010. So I was 36. Yeah, I started my own business at 26.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And so with that $30,000, I moved into this building called Grand Spa on 6th and Virgil, and I opened up 1,000 square feet.
I wanna, you mentioned how dirty the first location was. Like, I wanna know what you learned about that first location, because yes, it was dirty, but there were lessons, there was growth, there was progression. I want to hear about that. That experience at that location.
And this is the thing that I learned. It's not the equipment. It's not the place. It's not the location. It's what you do for your client. And because I made sure they were moved by what I did. Every time, every session, I, put my heart into it. And I made sure that they had a great workout mentally and physically, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely mentally and physically, because in the fitness world, it seems like a lot of people assume that it's all about body, but there is no body, there's no action without the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So most definitely, I know what you mean by mind and body. Like if you're training somebody, you're going to have to find out where their mindset is at and maybe help them reset their mindset so they can be effective physically. So I'm with you. I'm tracking.
So basically, I became a successful trainer, even starting from the tiny, dirty space, because I was training people's heart, not the body. How do you train their heart? You have to figure out a way for you to move your client.
So how do you figure that out? I know a lot of trainers are going to be tuning in to hear some insight.
So many trainers,
so
many trainers, they just focus on the exercise and they count the repetition and they force them to do more repetition. But you have to remind your client why they are working out. and talk about their goals and share their goals and remind their goals every single set.
Motivation.
Yes. But in order for you to motivate your client, you have to listen to your client, because every clients go through some form of a mental problems or emotional problems, whether they're businessmen, whether they're working for a corporate, whether they're like husband and wife. That we are human beings. We're so vulnerable. So we have some form of a mental and emotional disease that we're not aware of. So if you really care about your client, and then if you're listening to what they're saying, then you could really give them a good advice, or you could, just by listening, they will feel better.
That sounds like a relationship.
Yes. So I always have a good relationship with all my clients, but emotionally, we're tuning in. So basically, I'm paying all my focus and attention to my clients, and I'm not looking at the phone. I'm not looking at the Instagram, how many likes I got. I'm really focusing on my client, and they feel that. Clients are not stupid.
No.
They know everything what you're doing.
And even if somebody was less knowledgeable, they can see and feel what you're investing into them, and they can see the results.
Yes.
So, if the trainer is not tuned in, is not, finding out where the mindset is at for the client, you're not going to keep the client.
So the perfect example of that is let me talk about like where I am right now as a personal trainer. I own a 4,000 square feet exclusive private gym.
Beautiful gym, been there a couple times.
And I get to live in a nice location, and I'm supporting my parents. They're all retire.
That's gold.
And I get to invest on on some of the stocks and property that I could put my hands on. So the point, the reason why I'm talking about these things is there's a lot better trainers, technically, like meaning there's so many trainers out there that have more knowledge than me, whether it's nutrition or how to live properly, how to live, like example like Charles Glass or like Hani Rambod, like name it. You can name so many great trainers. I bet you there's a lot more trainers are way more experienced than me and better than me. But the reason why I'm doing so well is not my knowledge and experience. Yeah, those things helps. You have to have a good solid base on that. But because people are moved, my clients are moved. So they bring their friends, and the word of mouth, it gets spread.
Quality.
Yes.
And their relationship as well. Like, it's not about who you are, who you know, what you do. It's like, do you care about the individual? Because it's a one-on-one personal training. It's a personal relationship, you and your trainer. And if you're a A-list trainer, celebrity trainer, but you don't care about people, then your business is gonna be short-lived.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, that's great, man. The transformation, I've definitely felt it. I've trained with you. The first time I trained with you, I got humbled. I have no problem being humble because I love to learn. I come into environments and situations as a student. I'm confident, but I come in as a student so I can learn, so I can continue to grow. And when I train with you the first time, and every time I train with you, you remind me to focus on form and quality over quantity. So I'm not a client, but I'm getting a taste of what you offer to your clients and how you conduct yourself as an individual in the gym. So much respect, and I'm definitely glad that we're sharing this with the audience today. Mindset first. We look like we work out, yes, but the mind is what drove us.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
So like, what's the next move?
So the reason why I became a Hollywood celebrity trainer is I met this guy named Jason Tobin. Jason Tobin from he's been on a couple of independent film. A movie called Better Luck Tomorrow. He's well known for that. And Better Luck Tomorrow was a movie was made by Justin Lin. He's the director of Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Okay. Is he Korean?
No, he's Chinese.
Okay.
Yes. And I met Jason, and I convinced him to me to train him. And fortunately, he was shooting a movie that time. He was getting ready for a film called Finishing the Game, and he was playing a role of a Bruce Lee. So he had to get shredded. So I trained him for roughly about 2 months. But because he was my first like a movie star, like a celebrity, he was paying me for an hour, but I was training for like 3 hours a day.
Making sure he gets those results.
Yes.
Smart move.
Yes. But unfortunately, he was cut from a final cut of the movie. So he did become like a Bruce Lee, like body-wise, transformation-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But he never made a final cut. But crazy thing about life is, there was a main character named Brian T. He's the drift king in a Tokyo Drift of Fast and Furious. So it was right after that. So he was literally the hottest Asian actor in Hollywood. And through Brian saw the transformation of Jason, and then he asked me to train him.
Oh, wow.
So I trained him.
Yeah, that works.
I trained him, and a month later, this like like a big brother, not my like own brother, blood brother, but a big brother called me and asked me, "Would you like to train this guy, from Korea?" And then I said, "Sure." And then he's a movie star. He's a big time movie star. And then I went over to meet him. And
did you fly over to Korea?
No, he came here. Yeah, he was in town. And I went to his hotel, and then I realized that his name was Lee Byung-hun Lee. He goes by the name of LBH. And I realized he was the biggest Asian actor in Asia, entire Asia. So basically, he's like a Brad Pitt in Asia. And he got casted for his first Hollywood film, which was a G.I. Joe 1. And he got a role of a Storm Shadow.
Okay, seen that.
Yeah. So Storm Shadow is like a fast assassin ninja.
Right.
So he has to look slim and shredded also. So, because I had a knowledge of getting Jason Tobin ready for that Finishing the Game, I applied the same, a method that I applied in Jason to LBH. And
I see that you applied on yourself as well.
Yes.
I thought I was in shape.
Oh, come on, Max. You look a lot better than me.
No one's competing, bro.
Oh, there you go.
You win.
No.
This is your house now. Now we both win.
There you go. So I trained LBH, and after that, because he's so big in Asia, like everybody in Asia, especially South Korea, all the actors and actresses knew who I was, because like he came out really good in G.I. Joe 1 as a Storm Shadow. He was shredded.
That's a good look for you.
Very, yeah. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is this. I trained Jason Tobin, even though he wasn't a famous actor, and he got cut, from a final cut of that movie. He was never shown in the movie, the product that I gave to him, but it led to another, right?
Right.
And that's how life works, guys. That's the reason why you have to give 100% to whatever you're doing, because you never know what that situation or that person will lead you on to.
I agree. It's like if you're the type of person to cut corners, you're going to do it with a lot of different aspects of your life. And this is the type of results you're going to get. But if you're the type of person that want to invest wisely, give your all, it's like a mentality you take with you everywhere you go, even with little things, little opportunities. And so I totally agree with you, and I've seen that happen in my life.
Yes. So, but the one that you told me right now, I learned that from bodybuilding. The discipline, not cutting corners. Because as you know, bodybuilding, you would never achieve a beautiful, top-shaped body if you cut corners.
No.
Yes. And then if you don't discipline yourself, you will never have an amazing physique.
I totally agree.
Yes. So, the tools that I learned from bodybuilding, it really gave me a ladder, a stepping stone to be successful in life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing about bodybuilding. You know, all started as a personal goal. Just wanted to transform my body, and with the feedback I was getting, it inspired me to just keep taking it to the next level. Life, people in your life, the feedback, the words of encouragement, the motivation, just inspire you to look, figure out what else can I do with fitness, health, business, because health is underrated. Everybody wants to look and feel good. So how do you improve your health and also help others improve their health? It's a beautiful thing. It's bodybuilding is not all about bodies. Unfortunately, a lot of us make it too much about the body. It becomes a superficial thing. It becomes boring, to be honest. But like you said, the bodybuilding forces you to practice discipline, humility, patience, and then these are things that you have to implement in all other aspects of your life, or you will fail. People ask me every day, is it nutrition? Is it form? Is it volume? What is it that we need to do to get into better shape? And I'm like, where's your mindset at? Like, that's the motherboard. So if that's not in the right perspective, if that's not in order, if you want something that you're not willing to work for, then that's off. And so, like, a lot of when I was doing more one-on-one personal training, a lot of it was a conversation.
There you go.
Conversation helping the clients reset their mindset so they can execute with or without me.
This is, I mean, the one that Max just mentioned is very important. So if you're a personal trainer listening to this, it's not all about acting like a drill sergeant, meaning you cannot force them.
That does work with some people, though. Some people need a drill sergeant.
Yes.
Temporarily.
Yes, but it's not going to last long. If you act like a drill sergeant, if you're a personal trainer, the client, they will never last long with you because they will get burned out.
They'll stop showing up.
So conversation is really important. But then what type of a conversation are you communicating with your clients? Are you talking about yourself? Are you like bragging about what kind of car you drive? Are you talking about your personal life, or are you asking a question to your client and try to figure out your client rather than talking about yourself?
Yeah, good point. I overheard some conversation that I'm like, what's this got to do with training or helping?
That's what I mean.
The mindset get ready for training. It's like small talk, just to like keep somebody company while you work out with them type conversations. And it's like, yeah, I mean, if that's the only thing you can offer to a client, then hey, what's gonna make you different than the next trainer? Like,
of course.
So I agree with you. And you seem to have a lot of patience as well. So like you said, you don't use the drill sergeant. I've been guilty of using the drill sergeant approach. Not with most of my clients, because if I start using the drill sergeant approach, it's probably a client that I shouldn't be working with, because they have to want it.
Of course.
Like, I shouldn't have to get loud or get aggressive. Like, it's not the military. Even though some people say they want that, but I'm not gonna do all the work for you. We're working together. So I agree with you. And patience is definitely a huge thing.
Oh, man. And bodybuilding also taught me how to be patient, because, as you know, you could take all the supplements in the world, but you cannot grow your muscle overnight. You have to wait.
How'd you get like that? Like, every time I come here, you keep getting into better shape. It's like, what are you doing?
What my mom taught me was, whatever you do in life, be consistent. But I wasn't able to do other things consistently because I was never passionate about those things. But personal training and bodybuilding, because I was meant to become a bodybuilder and a personal trainer, like, something clicked.
It was organic, natural.
Yes. Because I was in love with what I was doing, I was able to be consistent. And this is exactly the reason why, for everybody that's listening to this, please find something that you love doing. And then if you haven't found it yet, still look for it. It doesn't matter how old you are.
Speaking of love, definitely find something that you love doing, but make sure that it benefits others. Because if you love doing it and it's just benefiting you, you might want to take some more time to reflect and meditate on what it is that you love, or what your perception is of love in general.
Mm.
Because like oftentimes we find things that we love that destroys us and destroys other people.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely work on that identity and find out how you connect with others,
Mm-hmm.
how you benefit others, because
Right.
we're all connected one way or the other. Like
There you go.
if we're talking about health, look at right now, health, everybody's influenced by everyone else's health.
Mm.
Bodybuilding, we're connected. You're working with clients. Clients are working with trainers. It's a small industry, the fitness industry. And if we're talking about health, that's the whole world.
Mm.
So we're all connected. And eventually, whether people want to find something that benefits others or not, life is going to force you to submit to that truth.
Mm.
You
Oh
know,
man.
don't take my word for it.
I don't know if a lot of you guys are be able to understand what Max is saying, but Max is a very wise person, you know.
Thank you.
Not because he was born smart, it's because he's constantly searching and looking for wisdom.
Hey, how'd you know that?
Because I could see it.
You mean like looking through my windows, like watching me study? Nah, you don't point about that, brother. I love knowledge. I love light. I love insight. I don't like to be confused, and I don't like not to know. So I invest time to do research. You know, to talk to brothers like yourself. Like you know, after this episode, I'll be a more knowledgeable man because I'm learning always. And I definitely recommend that. You know, just humble yourself, and you'll grow nonstop.
But this is what I think about you, Max. Because you're very religious, your heart is much more pure than the person that doesn't have religion. Don't get me wrong, people. I'm not saying that people that doesn't have religion is bad. I'm just saying people whoever has a religion has higher chance of having a much pure heart. Why? Because they practice whatever that religion teaches you. All the religions teaches you one thing in common, you know? It's not all about you, right? So when you practice that, people like us as a Christian, whenever you practice that, you naturally become humble in life. Because what's the most important thing in Christianity? It's not all about us, right? It's not only me.
What is it about?
It's just about others, giving back.
So like, definitely speaking on religion, like I can honestly say, if somebody's religious, it doesn't automatically mean that they're a good person.
No.
So like, the best way to be an example and to be a positive person is by living by example. So
Yes,
it's not a title, because a lot of people have titles
of course.
of different religions, different beliefs. But when I look at you, look at your actions and listen to your words, look at what you do in the community, what type of work you do, that tells me what type of person you are. And so I am Christian. But if somebody tells me whether they're Christian or not, I'm looking at their words and their actions.
There you go.
That speaks more volume for me.
So I guess the reason why I brought up religion is that, you know, Max is wise because he's practicing his religion and he's trying to live by his religion. And the reason why I mentioned that is I recommend everybody to have some form of any type of a religion and then try to practice that every day. Whatever they teach you to live, try to live by that. We're not God, so we can't live exactly the way they teach us, but we could try.
So let me ask you this: you're Christian, right?
Yes.
When you recommend everyone to find a religion and practice a religion, are you talking about everyone should be Christian, or are you suggesting that everybody just choose one?
I mean, I highly recommend, you know, from my experience of being a Christian, is that I want everybody to become Christian, of course, because that's the religion that I'm in love with.
But you earlier,
and I follow.
You suggested that people choose a religion. You didn't.
Yes.
You didn't tell them to.
Yes.
You didn't suggest for them to become Christian. So
Yes.
how,
Because
what do you stand with that?
because I can't just because Christianity is the best religion for me, I cannot force everybody to have that belief.
What's
or
the
that
truth?
religion.
Aside from like imposing your will on people
Mm.
and trying to force people to believe something, what's the truth? What should people be following?
Truth
What
is,
religion should people be following?
truth is, they should follow whatever they want to follow.
Oh, so they should follow what they want to follow, not what God wants them to follow?
Of course, what God wants them to follow, but they have it's up to them.
It's up to them or it's up to God?
It's up to them.
Not God.
God wants them to follow the religion that they should be following, but then this is how God made us. He gave us a right of thing called freedom, of freedom to choose in life. So even with being powerful God, He cannot force someone to believe a certain religion. Once the person agree to follow a certain religion, then God kicks in and then takes over.
So that I agree. God gave us power of choice,
Yes.
but He also gave us truth, correct?
Yes.
So if He gave us truth,
Mm-hmm.
as Christian, what should we be telling our followers and our audience as far as religion goes?
To believe in Christianity.
So then I can't sit here and tell people to just go with any religion that you want to, because that's not as a Christian, I'm either a Christian or I'm not. I'm very upfront. Like, you see, I'm not gonna impose anything on anybody,
Mm-hmm.
force anything on anybody, but I have to be honest with myself, with you, and I have to be honest with my audience about who
That's
I
good.
am, what I believe.
That's good, Max.
And I'm sticking with that. Because what I find with some Christians, they're Christians when it comes to certain things, and that's not being Christ-like. And so there has to be order and consistency, like you said, with the bodybuilding, and definitely when it comes to my Bible studies, I'm that guy. I'm working towards becoming more consistent, and I'm glad we're having this conversation, because a lot of these episodes are going to be focused on spirituality, truth, order. What religion should people be following? What is truth? What's the perception of people say it's objective, but it's something that we don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
But
sure.
every conversation leads to religion or politics, because these are very important topics.
It is.
Sensitive topics, but we're going to talk about them.
There you go. Thanks for having my back.
Bro, of course.
And thanks for just reminding me, how strong I should be pushed in my belief.
Oh, hey, that's what we do for each other.
There you go.
Iron sharpens iron, and we're here to edify each other and our following. So, hey guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely leave some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna put Danny's links in the description so you guys can follow Danny, keep up with our workouts, and also find out how you can come by the gym and get some personal training. But my brother,
Thank you, Max.
thank you. We're gonna be doing this again
Yes, sir.
soon.
Thanks for everything, guys.
Now, this is your camera right there. That one's my camera. Stay out of my camera.
Got it.
Keep your shoulders out of my camera.
Got it. I'm sorry.
But no. Shout out to Denny for helping me set this up. Mario, Gabe. None of this I could do by myself. It's people like Denny that see something in me and believe in what I'm doing, believe in my potential, and it gives me a boost. So he gave me a boost. I'm gonna give you guys a boost. Tune in to the next episodes of Max Your Mind, and leave the comments down below. Let me know what you guys want to talk about, who you guys want me to feature, and that's a wrap.
Thank you, guys.